I mean, it feels like a physical game every game. Feels like it's been a physical season.
This first 2 games you have, I think the right phrase is just been beaten. Is this the most physical that you've ever been in from Stanford days on?
But yes, I think, I feel like I've been on the ground a little bit more this series so far. But we just keep getting back up, so that's all you can really say.
Did Aya Wilson actually injure Lexi Hull? And did that injury make Hull even more dangerous? Fans can't stop talking about how she pushed through pain, taped up her back, and then drilled 5 threes against Vegas in one of the most physical playoff games ever.
We didn't throw any. I mean, the reality is they came in and they were physical and they dictated, and we were on our heels.
You mentioned that you anticipated, obviously, the Aces would want to throw the first punch tonight.
And we were passive and we were reactive to everything.
But here's the thing. Was this toughness the turning point for Indiana heading home? Or just the beginning of a bigger controversy the WNBA doesn't want to admit? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Well, it's hard for us to find flow when there's a foul call every 10 seconds. I mean, it just really is. They were much more aggressive and physical defensively. When they're at the free throw line, we can't get up and down the floor. And that's a challenge.
Imagine playing through back pain so bad you might not even step on the court, and then walking out there against the defending champs with playoff history on the line. That was exactly what Lexi Hull faced, and somehow, she didn't just show up. She started lighting up the scoreboard. Game 1 against the Aces left her with a collision that sent shockwaves through Fever fans.
I don't think that she's going to practice for the rest of the year. Like, I genuinely do not think a fair thing to do, because I think people are kind of worried about Lexi Hull, but back injuries are one of those weird things.
A back injury like that usually sidelines players, and many thought she had no chance to perform in Game 2. Even her name sitting in the game time decision column had people convinced she would barely be able to move, let alone shoot. The chatter in the hours leading up to tip-off was all about whether she'd even be in uniform. But once she checked in, it was clear that the Aces weren't about to give her the benefit of the doubt. They came at her. We're talking hard screens, box outs that looked closer to wrestling moves, forearms in the back, and constant pressure every time she tried to move around the arc.
See, obviously you were a late add to the injury report today. Just how are you feeling this morning with your back, and what do you have to do to be able to play tonight?
I mean, the physicality won. She's like a little pinball. I know that the museum's right down the street, so sometimes I feel like she's getting pinged around everywhere.
I mean, I'm feeling sore still, but I think just a lot of treatment, trying to get, our bodies as ready as we can be.
It was like Las Vegas wanted to poke at the injury to see if they could break her down mentally as well as physically. Fans could see it. Analysts pointed it out on the broadcast. It wasn't subtle. And with the Fever already missing depth, it felt like the perfect plan for Vegas. If Hull cracked, the Fever's offense would lose a major option. Here's where things got crazy. Instead of fading, Hull tightened that tape around her back, shook off the stiffness, and answered the contact with buckets. The game got more physical as the minutes passed, and you could see her sent to the floor more than once. But every single time, she popped up and went straight back to spacing, ready to launch again. The Aces could shove her all they wanted, but the release on her jumper never wavered. She didn't even hesitate with defenders leaping at her. That toughness quickly stopped being a story about survival and started turning into one about production.
Lexi Hull is kind of all intangibles. And she is a defensive playmaker. She's not a defensive stopper, she's a defensive playmaker.
By halftime, she had already buried multiple threes. Then the second half rolled around, and it felt like the basket was drawing in her shots no matter how sore she was. Think about it. Most players grimace when their back locks up, and you rarely see them even try pull-up shots. Hull not only tried them, she drained 5 triples in the game. 5. That's not just solid. That's tying an entire franchise playoff record, all with a body that made it tough for her to even bend at the waist without feeling pain. That's insane.
Part of playoffs, I think, for everyone is end of the season. Everyone's a little fatigued, everyone's a little sore. get me ready for tonight. But it'll be a good rest day tomorrow. But I think that's, for everyone. We're just pushing through.
The Fever bench was feeding off it. Every time she hit another deep one, you could see the reactions ripple down the sideline. And the crowd? Even in Vegas, they couldn't ignore what was happening. Clips started circulating online within minutes because people watching at home didn't believe it either. Was this really happening? Was an injury actually sharpening her focus instead of dragging her down? That's how it felt. The shots got quicker, the confidence got bigger, and the aces looked unsettled because their plan was backfiring. And here's the part nobody expected. She wasn't just scoring, she was shaping the style of the game by forcing the aces' defense to extend out to her.
So lads, Lexi Hull has not been practicing with the Indiana Fever, but Steph White has been talking about Lexi Hull, basically saying she's being ruled out for precautionary reasons.
Indiana suddenly had more spacing for Kelsey Mitchell and the guards to attack. Vegas wanted to double Mitchell, but Hull kept burning them and making them pay for it. Her role in that spacing and decision-making became as important as her actual point total. You could sense that Vegas didn't want her taking those shots anymore. But on that night, there was no stopping it.
Lexi does all of the little things that you want a team to do.
Even post-game, Hull admitted, "I'm feeling sore still," which showed just how real the pain was. She said her focus was all on treatment and getting her body as ready as possible. That wasn't just talk. It was proof of what it took for her to even compete like that. And the trainers? She credited them because without that constant work, she probably wouldn't have been able to walk out there. But credit also has to go to her mindset.
She absolutely wants to do all of the little things. She does all the little things. It's hard to find the Lexi Hull out there.
So just trying to go out there and do the best I can. A lot of treatment with our trainers. I'm really thankful for them to spend a lot of time with me today, a lot of time with me yesterday.
A lot of players would take a night off in that situation. Hull decided instead to make it her moment. So when we talk about toughness, this wasn't just about showing she could play through pain. This was about converting body blows into momentum. That shift carried beyond the box score. Suddenly the Fever had belief that they could hang with the defending champs. And now, heading back to Indiana in front of 17,000 screaming fans, the only question left hanging is this. Did Hull just deliver the emotional edge that flips this series? Lexi Hull's game wasn't just about dropping threes. It was about proving that pain couldn't take her out of the fight. Playing through that injury showed Indiana and the rest of the league that toughness can be just as valuable as stats. She turned what looked like a setback into a rallying point for her team, and that's what people will remember. If you think Hull's resilience is the spark the Fever need at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, drop a "Let's go Lexi" in the comments. Because playoffs aren't only about stars, it's about unexpected heroes changing everything when nobody sees it coming.